it's working now. Oh, skips. Hello. Let me see if I can make it alone. Oh no. I think I might have to do it. Participants. Oh, I can come in my own live. No, you didn't. I had issues getting the live to work. It was trying to stream on my other account. How do I make you a moderator? God, the delay is so bad. Hello, Karen. Just make it take me. Whilst it's just you guys, let me. Top messages. Oh, I can create. I've not streamed on here for like 10 years. How the fuck do I make moderators? I don't even know if I can blow vape smoke. I'll just give it like 5 minutes or so. There is such a bad delay. I don't know how to set you guys as mods. Let me Google it. Oh my god, I've just done it again. Okay, let me. So we'll wait for people to come in. Click it here. Click it here. Settings, community. Subscriber. Automated filters. Well, this sucks. See that in like 5 minutes, you'll be like, Sup,Sean? I'm just trying to figure out how to make people mods, I think. Don't worry, I'll come back in a second. Add as standard moderator. Sean, that should have made you a moderator. Right. Scapes, Karen, if I can't figure out how to do it without whilst doing my live, but if you go and comment on that last video that I posted, I can add you as mods. Just, you know, to control the masses. We'll begin in a minute. I'll bring that picture back up, shall I? There you go. Is that better? That's better. This first clip is the clip that was in my video. Oh jeez, I made myself huge. I can actually shrink that down a little bit. Pardon me. Oh, where'd my chat go? Oh, where's my chat gone? Oh, I've got a mini food. Oh, look at you guys. I'll say so. I can't see the chat now. Where the fuck did the chat go? Oh my days, will you just let me do what I'm trying to do? If only you could see what I am doing right now, you would be wetting yourself. There we go. Oh my god, what was that? Right, let me... Right, I see his escapes. There we go. You naked profile. Oh look, Scapes, you've got a tool. Hey, you got a spawner. Right, let's... Right, let's watch these videos. You guys let me know if the sound's alright. I haven't done Steam Labs for fucking ever. So this is I'm just going to roll these videos. These videos are... There's about 13 of them. Ooh, spooky. A big blue one. There's about 13 of them that I managed to find. I've not seen them. I didn't watch them, so... Oh wait, I might want to actually tell you a bit about you. Sort it out, Lenny. Right, you want to know some spooky shizzle about this building, because it's not actually a pub anymore. It used to be a pub, it is now not a pub. It is mainly used, I think, for ghost hunts and the likes. I don't understand why I can't add. Why I can't add people from my subscribers. Yeah, so it used to be a pub, and I'm assuming like an old inn. Is there two of me again? Oh my god, that's terrifying. Right, let's go back to that screen. Yeah, so it used to be a pub. Right, so let me just scroll up here. I'm just going to read what I wrote earlier. So it has, do you know like how we talk about buildings and places and locations having that weird fucking atmosphere? Because a lot of them do. A lot of old places have the atmosphere of spook. I look like a witch today. So it's got quite an atmosphere. It's got a really dark atmosphere, right? So many of the locals do not like walking past said building at night time. They will avoid it just because of, I don't know whether it's probably a lot of storytelling and superstition involved in it. So it was built in 1145, they think, or it was already built in 1145. And they think it's the same people that built the church across the road. So there's a parish church across the road from it, and they think it's the same builders that built the church that built the ancient Raman, which is really cool. So it was a priest's house before. Ooh, I look well evil. It was a priest's house before it became an inn, right? Which is, it's always a good start, isn't it? The last pint was pulled in 1968, and I'm assuming that's when it shut its doors to said public. Let me just send this to Joe in case you can't find it, and Brendan in case you can't find it. He'll be doing his nighttime stream. Yeah, pulled its last pint in 1968, and when it closed its doors, I'm shiny again. When it closed its doors, it was purchased by John Humphreys from the brewery, because I think back then were pubs owned by breweries instead of like, and then the landlords run them. I mean, Yscapes, you're old enough to know that, aren't you? I'm joking. Well, no, you are old now. Loves you too, Brendan. I just started sending you a link because people are having problems finding my channel. I did just say Brendan's probably doing his late night stint. So yeah, he had to do a lot of negotiation, and I want to say the word fight, but I don't really. He had to fight a lot to keep the building. Because I think they were trying to do away with it, I don't know. But the residents in the town where this building is wanted it. I don't know whether they wanted it demolished or what they wanted to do with it. So I said about the atmosphere, so people that enter this, now I would really love to go to this one day. This is one of my top let's go locations. I will do. The atmosphere is not nice. It's very dark, very dark. Somebody described it as pure filth, dark and heavy. Sounds like a good time. I think it's because it's new. Once it gets up and running, it should be okay. It's because it's a new channel. Right, let's see. So when you go into this pub, I think there is a walkthrough video in this list. Maybe I should find that before I find all that shit. Let me check. Maybe I didn't put it in there. Let me see if I can find that walkthrough video and I'll add it to the list. There is a walkthrough. Let's pardon me, rude. Right, let's put that in my playlist. There we go. Now let's go back to my playlist. Did you see that with spooky face in the corner? So once I have, oh yeah, you try to play on me. Once I've done my videos on these, I will unlock the playlists so they're public. They're private when I go video hunting. It's very difficult, like I said, to get videos that are under an hour long for these, because most of them are investigations done by other paranormal groups, and I don't want you to be sitting for a whole hour. I mean, it would be fun, but we can do that at some point where we just but once I've done the investigations, the Sally House folder, as I'm finding more stuff, it's growing bigger and bigger, if that makes sense. So same with these ones, because I'm scrolling all the time looking for spooky videos. So yeah, the walls are bare. It's an old, you know, railway steeper rafters on the top, proper old cottage, bare walls, cracking paint. You get the gist. It's spooky. So when you walk into this, you're straight into the men's kitchen, which, where escapes, you'll love this because I did, is reportedly built on the site of a pagan burial ground, and is the location where a baby's often heard crying. Now that creeps me out. Anything that involves children, as you know, creeps me the fuck out. Instead of getting chucked down the stairs, you get pushed up the stairs, which is really strange. So there's also, again, the ghostly mist images of something on stairs, which makes sense, perfect sense. So on the first floor you've got the bishop's room. According to this, a psychic medium was reportedly lifted off the ground and flung across the corridor when they tried to enter the bishop's room, which would have been spectacular to see, not going to lie. And there's a ghostly cavalier which reportedly materialises by the dressing table and walks across the room, which again, I think from the way that it's explained, that's probably a residual energy. Sup, Sean? You put Karen on a timeout. God, Karen, did you go comment on a video so I can make you a mod? And then you can put Yscapes on a timeout. No, don't put people on timeouts. Only put naughty people on timeouts, please. Doesn't really help you as much, does it? Yeah, so the cavalier, I think, from the sounds of the way it's described, is a residual energy rather than an active spoopy ghost. We like spoopy ghosts. public subscribers. Yeah, it's better on here. I like it better on here. So again with the monk ghosts, but they're in the corner, and terrifying screams of men, or a man who was reportedly murdered by having his head put in the fire. Savage back then. Savage! There's also a phantom shepherd and his trusty doggy seen near the door. And those who spend the night in the room, I'm assuming we're still in the bishop's room. So this is where shit gets creepy. Oh, there's tapping at this one. There is actual footage of the tapping. Does anybody know what succubus are? Or an incubus? Do you know what they are? You don't know what they are? Jesus, Wildscapes. Would you like me to educate you what an incubus or a succubus is? Now, if I'm correct, let me... Please do not ban me, YouTube, or I'll cry. I'm going to get the correct definition. There's no... So I don't muddle them up. Because they're the same but different, if that makes sense. There's slight differences. Oh, that's me. If you're talking about the taps that you can hear, that's me. So, incubus and succubus are mythical demons, with the incubus being male and the succubus being female. Right? And they like to participate in a little jiggy with human people that are alive. Let me check. So that's what an incubus and a succubus are. Hey, I see ya. There we go. Yeah, I know you guys know, but it's just in case somebody else watches this back and is like, what is that? So both can shapeshift. Both cause nightmares and sleep paralysis. They're energy drainers. There is legend about there being reported offspring, which I doubt. I don't actually understand how that would be physically possible, but you know. But it was medieval Europe. They were a big thing. And there's also a lot of connections to Lilith. We like a bit of Lilith. Have you got your spanner now, Karen? Shan, if you would like a spanner, if you could comment on my video, I'll add you as a mod. I mean, just in case it gets too rowdy in here. There's also the spooky attic. All the attics are spooky. We discussed this at length on the other channel, or the other page, other fucking videos. It's quite a... Yay! It's quite a melancholy. They report it's melancholy, so it's kind of sad. So what is said to have happened is one of the innkeeper's daughters in the early 1500s was murdered in the attic, or the roof space, because it would have been roof space. It would probably been servant quarters back then, I would think. That's what the salutation was. The attic place was the servants' quarters. I can put you all on the noise step. Don't you tempt me, Wildscapes. Yeah, the spanner's moderator. I think if I give you full moderator support, you get a different tool. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, so people that sleep in the bishop's room, other than the fact that there's incubus, succubus lustfully lusting after them, often hear the sound of dragging across the attic floorway, which is quite terrifying in itself. So there is a lot of activity in this place. There's a lot of history. It's basically the same on as anywhere else. Click them, put them on a timeout. If they're naughty, if they're really naughty, then they can get a banana. But you got to comment on a video, because until I can figure out how to add you whilst I'm live, because remember I'm streamlabbing it. So yeah, the ancient ram ends. So should we watch the walkthrough? Let me find the fucking walkthrough. Let's have a wee look at a walkthrough of the ancient ram inn. Okay, guys, see that all right? Would you like me to hide my face? That was an awful evil laugh. Bye. I don't know if this is only 10 minutes. This is post investigation. So that's your walk-in space. There's the dog and the fireplace. Oh, it's the cat. That's the cat that was found in the walls. I thought it was a dog. Poor pussy. Shoot, where have I watched somewhere where a mummified dog? So this is somebody's van. This is Tracy W's video. Don't know who that is. I'm assuming he would have taken all the bar fittings out. I don't think that's a real skull, Live Scrapes. Wait, let me just check. So if this was a pagan burial site, that would explain the skeletal remains of children. You liking this more, Yscapes? There's a lot of pagan and ritualistic shit in here. All the energy that the walls will hold, man. And it's all original fixtures as well. Well, that could have been the fireplace that he lost his faith. It is Gloucestershire. It's a nice wee old British pub building, isn't it? Like, even without all the mad spooky shit. I can see there's 6 people. Guys, if you're from my YouTube, if you drop a comment, I can follow you, and then you can sub to the channel if you've not already. Or you could sub to the channel. Oh, there's my stitch out. My stitch has just come out. One of them anyway. Good job that happened when I was off camera, because that was gnarly. I've still got the one in the front, by the way, Escapes. It's not out yet. Yeah, it's proper old school, like. So I'm assuming that's where they would have stored the barrels and shit. Well, no, they would have done the barrels in the cellar. Or that cold room. It just gives you, like, it's arky watching it, innit? It's like. So much stuff stored from the building. That, I'm assuming, is all the old doorways and stuff. Okay. So I'm not actually in, I don't think. Oh, some of the... There we go. I've changed that. I don't know if that changes it for you. It changes it for me. Yeah, I'll get it after this video finishes, Shan, or it'll mess up the screen cast. I've not logged into this YouTube on my phone yet. We'll need to go there. We'll need to, like... Oh, look at the flowers, bless. And the toys. Cat. Right, that there is the image of the... I mean, it blocks out everything. That's what I was just talking about, the ghostly image on the stairs. It would probably smell like stale beer and just dust and ugh. Right, now we're going upstairs. The witch's room. Obviously around about the time that they were all persecuted and why you would though, why you would burn them. Oh, that's a nice spirit board. Oh, it's an actual custom. That's cool as fuck. What one's the bishop's room? Oh, look how that's dark. That's really creepy. I wonder if that's got any significance to the pub itself, Escapes. Oh, I don't like that room. Gives me the ick. Just gives me the ick, man. That would be why. I think you'd need it if you were whacking out a Ouija and in such a spooky place. It's red as well. That red's surely got to draw in energies. They're freaking, man. Oh, I don't like that doll. That's creepy as fuck. Why? Like, Sally House had a pram with a fucking creepy ass doll in it too. Did it go in the attic? Are they going to show us the dresser where the guy, the cavalier?
Oh, God.
Did you feel that?
Yeah. Alright, who's here? Oh. Somebody here.
I'm not entirely sure if that's the original dresser. I don't know. I can't see why it wouldn't be. Hello! I can't see why it wouldn't be the original dresser. Most of the rest of the building's original. Right. I'm going to click on this video. This video is very quick. It's 26 seconds. This is a video that I tried really hard to get squeezed into my fucking promo video, but it was really difficult.
How to prevent smelly residue washing.
Fucking advert. There you go, just in case you need to know how to clean your washing machine. Calgon. Oh wait a minute, before I do that, let's sort Sean out. Here we go. You should have tools. Right, let's go, guys. Let's go. So this is a video that was in my. You get the popcorn ready, Y-Scapes. This is an attic. I don't know if you can see now. I'm not a very big believer in orbs as such, but there are some videos where I've got to say they almost have me convinced. I need Calgon too. I need to wash my fucking washing machine. This one almost has me convinced because this is a dusty ass attic, right? The attics in buildings like this are going to be dusty. They're going to be fusty. They're going to be mouldy. Yeah, if you watch across, oh, you can see my mouse mover on this one. If you watch across the screen here, it's actually already started. I think it's about there at this point. If you watch across the screen there, it goes right across. It's quite quick. And obviously this pops down. It's very quick. Comes in from there, flies across there, knocks that happens to just pop down. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming that is an EMF meter or some sort of temperature control monitor. But if that was dust, there would be more than one piece of dust. That's an attic. You can't. It's the only time debunk that shit. Right, these are some shorts. I don't know why there's like 6 sofas. This is a promo video. It's hurting my eyeballs. Would you stay alone in the ancient ramen? I'm assuming that's something from the pub. Well, that was shite. That was not what was. Looking for. Do you know what these are? I've never watched them. So the difference with moths and bugs and stuff is the moths and the bugs usually will go to where the light is. They want the light. That's what they're attracted to. They're attracted to light. And they're not round. Bugs are not round. They're usually, you can make out their wings. He's going in the attic. I don't think we went in the attic. Oh God.
Well, so the reason I don't like the Reader's Attic is because of history. There was a young girl who lived up here, and her father, who was the landlord at the time, come up and hung there from the beam. Living in that very beam that's up there now. And she was discovered hung. For what reason? Must have been one hell of a family dispute about it. They said this took place in the middle of the
I wonder if that was
now,
sort of back in those days. It would have been a Romeo and Juliet type of fucking situation. That's like a 6-hour run. This isn't old footage too. So it'll probably be on really shitty digital camera. Sup, Joe? We're in the witch's room, Joe. We got an EMF on the bed. Actually, let me shrink myself a little bit because you can't. Gotta get me one of them, right? I know. It's definitely better. Sally House is such a good place, but I think it's one of those places that you've got to go to. You've got to go to get the experience, because it's all about feelings and it's quite an active, touchy spook. I need to get me one of these flashy doofers. So that is essential. I mean, I've got a flashy doofer, but it's not the same as that kind of flashy doofer. She wants to go to bed and there's these fucking dolls and this big object that she can't move. I think it goes to reinforce as well what I've said before about there being too much almost interaction in some of these faker videos. There's nothing else but that going off. I'm like so used to pointing the other way on the mirrored screen. There's always too much happening. Another good thing about buildings like that, there is very little to no electricity source. They turn them off when you go in for investigation. No, I know it's not her sort of flashy thing. Spooky. It's such a nice looking pub, isn't it? I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
The ancient Raleigh is one of the most haunted locations in Britain. It dates back to the 12th century and is built on the intersection of two main lines. It is a location of high spiritual energy. Here is said to be haunted by witches, Civil War soldiers, highwaymen, and a demon. The Raleigh is a location shrouded by dark history. And
These are older photos, look at the difference in them. Or newer maybe, I don't know. I don't know, like, could just be light reflection, but could just be her eyes playing tricks on her. I do also have body mapping footage where they took a body mapping device in. Oh well, there's a fucking face, man. There is a fucking face. Can you all fucking see that? There be a fucking face. No, there's a fucking face. There's legitimately a face. I don't think he's got no hair. I think he's got like a thing on his head, a hat. That's nuts, that is. Mouth, nose, let's pause it. Eyes, rim of a hat. Yeah, he's not touching the ground, is he? Knees are there. Feet are there. Arm. And his other arm comes to there. That there is whatever's behind him. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's what I would say, Joe, as well. Scroogey sleep hat.
John told us that the belief in the dark is not the original, and that ever since it was replaced, people would see a man.
So that would fall into something not being happy with renovations. When people renovate old buildings, they always report an increase in spooky activity.
Hanging himself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sold with that one. Like, what do you think, guys? And I don't usually agree nor disagree. I'm pretty sold by that. You can't make that fucking face up. Like, there's not, like, you can see the rafters running along there, and there, and there, and that, I don't know what that is. That looks like a window. There's the brick wall. There's the brick wall. You can't. His arm though, look, his arm stops there and it's identical on the other side. You can actually see fingers. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced with that. That's probably the most spooky fucking picture I've ever seen, and I've taken a lot. You can make out like the grey on his beard. Yeah, there's lots of disturbed souls in this. This inn is Right, now this claims to be poltergeist activity. I do not like that fucking doll.
No. One of ours.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was wearing an old nightgown. I don't know, like, this kind of shit. Like, you've just skipped my video, how rude. I'll bring it back up in a minute, Karen, I'll have a look. Sometimes it's good to disappear and look at other shit and then come back to it. Right, the only thing I'm going to say about this video is this doll is not balanced, right? It's not balanced. It's actually on the overhang of that Ouija board. It's on the overhang of that Ouija board, which is not on the table, because that's the chair behind it. That table goes, actually, it's not sitting on the table. If you map that round, or is it? No, it's not. It's not sitting on the table. The legs raised, so that creates an it's unbalanced. It's not balanced. I get that you could say that that's maybe going to make it easier for something to move it, but it's also makes it easier for somebody to knock it from behind or knock the table in a certain way for that to. See, now he tapped the Ouija board. Can we can slow this shit down? See, this is what I do in my free time. This is why I have no life. See, to me that just rolls. I'm going to slow it even more. Sorry, this is going to be really long. He also taps the table beforehand on the board. And the fact that only one ball goes off . I'm not convinced with that one. I just think it looks too easily placed. That ball could easily go off. They are very, very sensitive, these balls. They are designed to make it slightly easier for, you know, like playing with kids' toys and stuff. You've got to push buttons, you've got to move dials. The balls are slightly more sensitive because, in fact, you know what? I have actually got a ball full of them balls. Give me a second. Do they still work? Oh, they fucking do. Do you hear my cogs? It's very, very easy to get. Do you hear my cogs? It's very, very easy to get. Again, we talk about the string theory, don't we? Would take a very, very, very gentle tug on a bit of fishing line to make that fall. Here we go. Here's some knocks for you, Sean.
This is what it's like.
After this advert. In the bishop's room. What did you just send there, Yscapes? You send emojis? Yeah, we'll just roll on to this one. Oh! Do you see that? Shit! Oh! Ah, I see what you did. Like, that's insane. Okay, so this was last year. SLS camera, so this is your full body mapping.
There's something on the ceiling. There's something that was mapped on the ceiling. No, it's the guy next to you.
Shit.
It's gone, but yeah, no, it's a full body. No, I'm recording the screen now on my camera. That was, oh, okay. When you said that, there we go. There's someone hanging from the ceiling. Look, Matt, you see that? Look, there is someone from the ceiling. Oh, fuck.
I totally missed
I'll
that.
show you on camera.
Right, I'm gonna bring it back. I totally missed it. I biffed the fuck out.
This is the backside of Matt's face. Yeah, a couple of things just appeared. Nothing said. There's something on the ceiling. There's something that was mapped on the ceiling. No, it's the guy next to you.
I actually think that was just his body mapping biffing out, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's a full body. No, I'm recording the screen now on my camera.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, okay. When you said that, there we go. There's someone hanging from the ceiling. Look, Matt.
That would freak me the fuck out, man.
Look, there is someone from the ceiling. Oh, fuck. I'll have to show you on the camera.
It's almost like it was trying to touch him.
I'm recording on my handheld camera. I'll have to, it's gone now, but can you do that again, please?
It's still there, you can still see it.
It's not there now, but it was when we said about the lady that was from the ceiling.
I mean, SLS cameras are not an exact science, they're not. They're not, Well, that speaks for itself.
No, because it was still. You make that go faster for us.
Come on, get it there.
Oh, give it right, good old push.
If you stop it already, you should be able to go good.
Yeah.
It's a jump for fish to knock
Yeah,
it
but if
over.
it was knocked, it would have stopped and keep going.
Can you stop it?
No, it's going faster than that. It's like, no. Having
Just
fun.
stop it straight.
So John Humphreys is the guy that bought the pub after
No, because
the,
it was
well,
still.
he bought the building after the Brewers sold it. How much energy all this old furniture holds, man. Pretty crazy. We need to go there. I think that's going to be one of the places that we will look at. Oh, like an hour, I think. I looked at all my videos. I love Daz Game and he's fucking hilarious. I think that definitely out of all the places that I've looked at, that's got to be one of the most active. Fuck off. It's pretty rich. It's got to be one of the most active places that I've looked at. And it's not during a set time, it's not a night time. So watch this. So that's a full spec camera, it's purple. Oh! Hello! So your shadow man would be in intertwined with the fact that there was demonic rituals and shit happening. We didn't need your intro, mate. I like this camera angle, right? So usually when you're doing spirit boards and seances and summoning circles, they'll have the camera so that it's looking above the table, so you can't see what's happening under the table, which is, oh look, I can move myself over, which is where it's easy to knock underneath yourself or knock it with your knee and count the table. But we can see all their legs. How similar does that sound to that knock that I caught the other day? How similar does that sound to that knock that I caught? Yeah, I love it. I just love it. It's like one of my favourite places to look at. So all of these hour-long videos, they'll be added to the... It's the same as Sally House. There's full investigations in the Sally House. I just need to add a couple more. And then I'm going to so what I'll do is, the list will be private until next week. This list will be private until next Tuesday's Terrifying Tuesday. Which gives me time to add shit, because I only add shorts. So when I come off of here, Sally will be unlocked, which means you can go watch some of the full investigations and you can get a bigger deep dive into that. It just looks like a normal fucking building. Like, until you look at it from that angle. And then you're like, hang on a minute. Most Haunted also did. Let's put that in the Ancient Ramen list, because we love a bit of Derek Acorah. I'll do. I think I've said before, in fact, who was I talking to about Derek Acorah? Was it you guys in the live? We had a discussion about Derek Acorah. Was it you guys? Was it last week? And how I do believe that he did have some sort of ability, but he bought into the scripted Most Haunted. He was on a TV show at the end of the day. He was paid to act. Do you believe in genuine psychics? Yeah, your genuine psychics, I do believe get a lot of stick, because sometimes they're a bit crazy with it, if that makes sense. And there's so many scammers on the internet at the minute. But I just think he bought into that the whole fucking scripted haunting shit, and it ruined it. It ruined his career for a while. See, all these, or most of these, I'm not putting them all in, because so that is probably all that I can show on the Ancient Ram Inn. There is so much more though. There's so much history that we won't know about, because it was before public record, or it's urban legend at this point. My hat's not even staying on my head properly because my hair's tied up half and half. Menace. But that, what I'll do is this week I'll add some more videos into that list, and I'll unlock it so it'll be available on my playlist on the YouTube. And I'll do Sally and the Ancient Ram Inn, because next week where we're going, Yscapes will be really happy with. I was going to leave it for a bit, but it's playing on my brain. And it's been playing on my brain since I got my new book and started writing it out. So anyone who hazard a guess as to where we're going next week? And it'll be a double. Well, it won't be a double, but there's two places. It's been bugging me since I rewrote my list the other day. Yeah, I mean, you can see where it's fucking dipping. It's starting to cave there. That bit's a wee bit wonky, but it's, you can see it all dipping. I'm assuming most of it, I think that's the barn, so that's the roof that was replaced. Sorry, you can't see my mouse there. That's the barn, so that's the whole inn, the white building at the front. So that roof was replaced. It doesn't say when. Oh, you do know this one. You do know this one. That was replaced, so that was the barn roof that was replaced. I'm assuming, as in the roof replaced, that's original. That's original, isn't it? That matches that and that. So that's on the end building. So I wonder if it was just the beams inside. No, we'll leave Enfield. Enfield's been covered way too much. We are going to Old Changi. We're going to Singapore, Wisescapes. I'm going to do the prison and the hospital in the same live. Let me see if I can find a couple of wee... It's been bugging me since I rewrote it the other day. This video, no it's not, that's 9-month-old. This was one of the very first places that I ever saw on here. And it's been one of those things that has stuck with me. Stuck with me since fuck knows when. Let's click this. I've never seen this before. This is 8-year-old, so maybe I am.
The abandoned and crumbling old Changi Hospital is considered by many to be the most haunted place in Singapore. It was originally constructed by the British in 1935 as part of a large naval base in the South Pacific. During the Japanese occupation of Singapore from 1942 to 45, the hospital was used as a prisoner of war camp, housing captured Allied soldiers as well as others accused of anti-Japanese activities. It was also said to operate as a base for the notoriously ruthless Tempeitai, the Japanese secret police. Many claim that prisoners were viciously tortured to death within the walls of the hospital, some having their severed heads displayed on iron stakes outside the buildings. Following the war, many Japanese soldiers were executed on the grounds of the Changi for their misdeeds during the occupation. The Changi would serve as a military and public hospital for the next 50 years before finally being closed and abandoned in 1997. Visitors to the complex have reported hearing tortured screams, being touched by phantom hands, and seeing shadowy figures wandering the grounds day and night. Some claim to have seen the bloody apparitions of soldiers, both Japanese and Allied, walking the decrepit halls. Strange lights and smells have also been reported. Then there's the ghostly figure of a young boy who simply sits and stares into space. Those who happened upon the young lad claim to have felt an overwhelming feeling of sadness when in his presence. The most common report from visitors to the old Changi Hospital is having one of their group members led away by a mysterious individual who tells them to leave and never return before vanishing into thin air, leaving the visitor frightened and alone in a dark and isolated area of the hospital.
Not that much younger than you, Wisescapes. Let me see if I can find the footage that I first saw this. It might not be here. A lot of the shit that I watched is now not on YouTube. which really sucks. It's like we've said, Singapore is extremely fucking haunted. It's one of the most spooky fucking... Even the atmosphere, look at all the videos, there's hundreds of videos. Right, let's watch this quickly. It's like 7 minutes. Give you a wee teaser taster. I don't know what's in this, I've never seen it. So this is old footage that they've obviously enhanced, or enhanced by making it clearer with, I mean, it wasn't actually that long ago, 20. Another thing, how come our old buildings look like shit? That hospital looks like it, on the outside it looks like you could like walk in there and it would be like full working order. I mean on the inside it's not, but still can't find my spirit box.
Andrew, which country are you from? Andrew, you're still on Andrew, can you please touch this meter? How many of you are here right now with us?
Oh my god, I knew this was 7.
Is it 7? Yes or no?
I still don't know where my spirit box is.
Whatever was said just now, you were pretty close to the age group. Can you please touch the age group? Get away. I can keep on Oh God. What's happening?
It's not a reason I'm more likely to believe anything that they pull out of this, because he did that and instead of going, oh my god, did you hear that? Was that you? Was that you? He instantly went, that was me. He genuinely is scared. You can hear it in their voices.
He's there, little girl. Okay, chill up. It's okay?
Tango?
Then you're first. Okay, can you see what's going on?
There's no way that would be going on.
I cannot ask you any more questions if you can.
He doesn't have that near anything at all.
Okay. How else shall we communicate with you? As we always do, can you please say something now? What is your name? Louis! Louis, come on down! You're the right guy. Louis, how old are you? How old are you, Louis? 20.
So I think I watched a movie that was based on I can't remember if it was Singapore though. Was it Malaysia? I don't know. I watched a movie ages ago that was about concentration camps and prison camps.
Okay.
I'm talking about 10, 15 years ago though.
Okay, I heard female voice. Did you hear footsteps that come like you? Are you coming closer to us?
It's another thing, I don't know whether it's a camera quality, but a lot of the times when you're in high activity areas, the camera does struggle to focus, whether that's because it's picking up things that we can't see or not, or whether it's just the camera biffing out. Autofocus can sometimes be a nightmare, but it can sometimes let you know that things are about you that you can't see. You didn't seem to be moving it fast enough for it to biff out like that. It's biffing out.
And you don't heard this voice. But did you hear anything?
No, that's what it said. This is all enhanced. It's old footage that they've re-enhanced with new programs to try and make it clearer. Because again, this video itself is 6 years old. And whereas we have obviously a lot of updated technology, even 10 years ago they didn't. The phone cameras and stuff. But he's got a really strong accent. What was that? The pillars would make me shifty and nervous as fuck. Oh hell no. Could just be, oh no, there's a face. There's actually a face. I mean, there is what looks like eye holes and hair. that breathing. So I know we were supposed to do story time on Saturday. So I think I've mentioned a few times. Yeah, that is terrifying. I think I've mentioned a few times that in my old house, not this house, and not the house that I was in before this, but the one before that, I couldn't do the dishes without earbuds in. Because that kind of breathing is what you used to hear over the back of your shoulder. And my ex-partner, who is the most, sterile brained human being when it comes to paranormal, he's never admitted, even he wouldn't do the dishes either by himself or without his earphones in or loud music on, because you used to hear it breathe over your shoulder in this house. It's one of the spookiest fucking places I've ever lived, and it's the history in it, you can actually document. The history is documented because Robin was a baby at the time, and she had pretty much described in detail, right down to his waistcoat. Bear in mind, a 2-year-old's not going to know what a waistcoat is. What the owner of the old hotel looked like, and we actually did some deep diving into that and found his exact birthday, his exact death date, and his name, and the picture of him. And when we showed her it, she was like, "That's him right there." We were like, "Okay, cool." But he was the old innkeeper of the Station Hotel, and it was changed to the Salutation House when we were living in it, but it was the Station Hotel. And then we moved over to a house called Craigroy, which was back in Victoria, and they used to have like shared houses. So there was 2 living rooms and 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and one family would live on one side and one family would live on the other side, and there'd be like a communal hallway and kitchen. That is where I developed my fear of doors. We can do story time for the last 25 minutes. That's where I developed my fear of doors, and why watching videos with things, specifically looking around door frames. I'd seen one night when I'd been washing the dishes with my earbuds in, so we had a glass panelled door, so we could see from the sink all the way up the stairs to Robin's bedroom door. And I had turned, and like you see shit out the corner of your eye and you're just like, he does look like he's wearing a doctor's coat. Although I'm not entirely sure, that thing above him's scary enough as it is. That looks like a second face. 1 face, 2 face. That looks like a second face. And am I seeing totally different? No, they're pointing at that face. So I'm seeing a second face. There is a second face. Eyes, nose, mouth. Eyes, mouth, hairdo. What the fuck? Yeah, that's a second face right there. That looks female. That one there is looking like it's female. Ooh. But yeah, out the corner of my eye when I was washing the dishes, turned my head to the left. I can't do it very easily because I'm still really tight on my chin. But I turned my eye to the left, and out of the corner of my eye through the glass door there was a little girl in a white nightgown sitting on the bottom of my stairs. Obviously turned my head back, and then went, hang a minute, what the fuck's Robin doing out of bed? Turned around and it was gone. That was the night I went up the stairs. Can still picture frame for frame in my fucking brain. I went up the stairs to check on Robin because she was in the bedroom to the right, and her door was open about this much, right? So you're talking about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. And as I got to the top of the stairs, I turned to look in her room, and through that gap in her door, bearing in mind Cameron was a baby, he was in a cot, there was a child maybe about 4 inches shorter than Robin, because Robin's quite tall, looking through the fucking gap in the door, and its eyes were bright red. I have never moved fast down them stairs before, but I was out of there. I was on the phone to my mum, freaking the fuck out. Now, as I said, my ex was the most sterile brained for paranormal, and he came in whilst I was freaking out on the phone to my mum, and was listening to what I said, and I have never seen a man turn whiter than that. This guy never admitted to anything. He looked at me, walked out the room, and never spoke to me for the rest of the fucking night, because he'd seen it. He just hadn't said anything. I had confirmed what he'd seen, and he was freaking out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Joe. So that is where I developed my fear of not only child spirit, but of doors. That's why my doors are always shut. This door, that door. If I'm in my bedroom, the lights all have to be off, and the door has to be open enough so that I can see if somebody walks past. But I generally tend to either have the door wide open, and the only reason I have my bedroom door open is obviously for the kids. Now they're getting bigger, it wouldn't matter as much. But that's where my fear of doorways and interacting with child spirits comes in, because that was not a child spirit, that was something else entirely. It's like black-eyed children. Has anybody ever heard of them before? They're a phenomenon as well. They're like the children of the corn bullshit, but no, that's why I don't like doors. That's why every time someone peeks through the doorway, I'm fucking out of the way. I don't need to look at that. Proper triggers, like, I'm going to take this off because my house hot. Proper triggers me, like proper fucking triggers me, to the point where it borders on full-blown panic attack. Because when I tell you some of the things that I've seen, you're just going to be like, yeah, okay then. Which is why I switched off. There's one in here. There's a wee boy that lives in this house. I'm assuming he's connected with the land. The house is just here. But he's called Nathan, and he's about 11. Maybe a bit younger than that. But he's about between 9 and 11, I would say. And we've had it confirmed. He was the first confirmation on the dowsing rods. Which was quite weird, because me and Robin both saw him one day. We thought it was Cameron walking behind us, but Cameron was sitting on his fucking computer chair with his bedroom door shut. Robin saw exactly what I saw, down to the colour of the hair. Walk behind me. I was standing in the doorway, and he walked behind. I thought Cameron came out his bedroom and went to the bathroom, and I just saw Robin's face drop, and I was like, "You saw that, didn't you?" And she was like, and then I shouted Cameron, and he answered me, and I was expecting him to answer from the bathroom, but he answered me from his fucking bedroom, and I'm like, what? That's why I steer clear of children's ghosts. I do not like interacting with them. It doesn't mean that they don't like to come to me, but I just try my damnedest to avoid any interaction with anything that I think is a child. Not only because it may not be a child, but because but it maybe does, Joe. It maybe does, but you just don't know about it. We're talking these ancestral link spirits may not necessarily be from this generation tree. It could be from great grandparents' lineage. It just depends. And if you're open to and oh my god, I keep knocking these glues over on nails. If you're open to energies, they will, like, they may be there and people just aren't aware that they're there until that one person is. I don't know what I just did there, but that was funny. It's strange how it works. I think it's a lot easier now for us to be able to interact with things as well, because it's not so taboo anymore. And again, we're being in your last 3 houses, it could have been something that's been connected to the building and it's latched onto you if you're open to that, and it's just followed you. They do follow. That's why I think Sham is the last person I spoke to. I always say that if you're so the one thing that you need to make very clear when you're investigating is that nothing's allowed to go back with you. Whatever you encounter is not permitted to come home with you. But it could be that it's got a message. It might have a message, or it might want to tell you something, or it just maybe because you're a mum. I've had yeah, it's maybe just a mum comfort thing. So we figured that out with the little girl that was on the stairs in Craigroy. We couldn't find any information on any children that had passed away in there, but Victorian times there's bound to have been. But she didn't bother anybody that wasn't female with young children. They were the only people that could see her. The landlady who used to live in the house before us, when I spoke to her about it, she had seen her when she'd had her kids and they were young. It could be a connection to you because you've got kids, and it's picking up on your maternal energy that you're giving off. A lot of the times there's like logical explanations to why they would latch. But it's like I've said before as well, we'd hear things in the bathroom in this house, and the minute we'd get up to go and look, it would stop. The minute you get your camera out to record, they stop. Especially if you make them aware that that's what you're doing. Leah made me aware of this rapping on the window, and she's not said anything else about it since the very last time that she said it went on until 5 o'clock. Now, whether that was the end of whatever it was doing, like it was a build up and it got longer and longer and then it just stops. Residual energy as well is very, very, very weird to live with. There was a lot of residual energy when we lived in the Salutation, because it was a station hotel. It was where all the coaches and the train line passed by. It was where they got off and they'd stay there for the night, because it was essentially a drive-by town. There's like 2 lines of maybe like 300-400 yards a house in, so there's about 7-8 houses on each side, and then this massive building which was a hotel that they added a top layer on. So the 3rd floor, where Robin's bedroom was actually the attic So it would have been the roof instead of the room with the roof on top, which was the servants' quarters back in the 1890s. Surprised I can remember those dates. But at night time, obviously, you're an innkeeper. You're going to check on your maids and your cooks and stuff who would be in the staff quarters. And it was always at the same time at night. It was 10 o'clock at night that you used to obviously walk from one end of the houses to the other. It was 4 houses. 5 houses made out of this. So it was like split into 5 when it was renovated. So we'd walk from one end of the salutation all the way to the other, through all the rooms. And when the most creepy part of that was, when you asked Robin how he got in her bedroom, she'd point to the corner of the wall. Not the door, which was right next to it, maybe like 4 foot across. She would point to the corner of the wall. That was the last time I asked her anything about the guy in the salutation. She'd tell me, she'd describe him to me down to the T in the picture. But yeah, she'd point to the corner of the wall. That's where he came in. It would make sense if it was an attic space and that there would be a corridor running up the middle of the servants' quarters. But that house was weird. It was that house that I learnt about baby monitor spooks. Robin, when she was... I moved up there, Robin was just under... So it was my 18th birthday. Robin would have been 1.5, and we didn't live on the 3rd floor then. It was just basically storage and stuff on the 3rd floor, and some plants, carrots, obviously carrots. And Robin used to have her bedroom above the living room, and we could hear her crying through the baby monitor. And we'd go up, and could we fucking find her dummy? Like, it was nowhere. It wasn't in the bed, it wasn't under the bed, it was nowhere. Oh, was that when Cameron was a baby? No, that was Robin, because it was a little girl laughing. What? Yeah, it was a little girl laughing. Wasn't even born. Cameron wasn't even born. Yeah, there was a little girl laughing through the baby monitor on spot, like randomly, just this little girl laughing. We used to think it was Robin messing about, and then she lost her dummy this day and we couldn't find it. We checked the windowsill, we checked the floor, we checked in her bed, we checked downstairs, and then when we went to turn the baby monitor off, obviously to give up and take her into the room with us, put her hand on the windowsill, and the dummy was right next to the baby monitor, and we know it wasn't there because we checked. So that's kind of like what Leah was saying with this knocking that was down here. It was waiting until I went to sleep, not Leah or Cameron, and then coming to me. It was waiting until everybody but Leah was asleep, and then it was tapping. And the minute I mentioned it, I was going to get cameras installed in here, it stopped. That day that I was talking with you guys about, and Dad was sending me links to cameras on Amazon, it's never made a noise since. Whether or not it'll come back, I'm still getting cameras, so I mean, it knocking or not has no I need to get cameras in here. I need to see what's going on when I'm singing and I'm not paying attention, and whatever the fuck is in the corner, because something fell there and I still haven't figured out what it was that fell. Don't know whether that was today or yesterday. I can't remember whether that was today or yesterday. Well, yesterday or the day before. So next week we'll do Old Changi, and we'll have a look at some Singapore spooks. I'll also try and find the videos that I watched a couple of weeks ago. I don't think it's Singapore, I think it's the Philippines. Could be wrong. It's the same energy, it's the same haunting style, it's just slightly more terrifying. But I'll see if I can find all them, and shall we, instead of just doing Old Changi, because we'll get through that pretty quick, we'll do the prison, we'll do the hospital, and then we'll look at some of the haunts over that end of the world, as opposed to. So what you can do. Now I was going to do this the other night after the ball incident, and now that I've got some flashy balls, I might, if you get something, I wouldn't necessarily use a ball because they're easily knocked or disturbed, but I don't know if Theo's got any rubber ducks, for instance. They've got a flat bottom, so they would. And if you get a piece of paper, Joe, I just dropped that duck. If you get a piece of paper and draw around the duck on the piece of paper and leave the duck sitting in the drawn lines and leave it somewhere where it's not going to get easily knocked, and check it. Put it down at night time and check it when you get up. I mean, if it's moved, it's pretty fair game. Just don't give them anything that makes noise, because you'll freak yourself out. There's nothing worse than random toys playing noises when you're fucking not expecting it. All of Kaylee's toys are either have their batteries removed when she's not here, or they are switched off. Not that having the batteries removed will necessarily stop them if they want to play it. Yeah, I can see shit out the corner of my eye. I'm trying to think what else you give them. If Theo's got a shape sorting toy, you could leave them a couple of shapes out. Again, mark where you've left them sitting on a bit of paper underneath them. And in that way you've got a definitive idea if they've been moved or not. I think I'm going to do that tonight. Well, I'm not doing it with those coloured balls. I'm actually going to hide that coloured sensory ball thing, because now it knows that I've got it. I'm not particularly wanting to set that off during the day. What I'll do is just draw around it and leave it sitting. And I don't know how much interacting you want to do with them, but you can make them aware that you're leaving it for them to play with if they want to play with it. Because sometimes they won't touch things unless you give them explicit permission. If I give them permission to touch everything else, like my box. I am going to upload that footage of... I'll not do the Bob because again I'm not 100% sold that that wasn't a joint effort. But I'll upload the footage of me clocking the box and me clocking the tablet though, because that was like an instant like what the fuck. And I'll put that in a folder that I think I can set the folders to so that only subscribers, I mean, what the fuck was that? Can watch. Let me just check. if she's knocking. I swore I heard knock. Came from the kitchen though. That was really random. Sounded like it came from in the kitchen. Spoopy. She's not answered me, so I didn't think it was her. Are you on high alert or are you escapes? See, that again, this is what I'm talk about when I say, like, when you talk about experiences and when you discuss things that have happened, or you watch videos like this. Again, I'm still not used to the point you do for. It heightens everything. I just charged that. Why is that drained? My battery on my watch needs charged again. You're in buffering mode. Buffer wise escapes. Again, as well, sleeping though. When you're tired, you're more switched on, I think, which sounds really stupid. But you're also more prone to hearing things that are not happening. Yeah, and the heat as well. But again, remember, that'll all... Yeah, that's my kid on his chair. That was not what I heard. It all works out, like your atmosphere and your... Why is that watch drained battery? I haven't done anything since I charged it. I literally charged it before I had my soup earlier. Now can I get it to fucking charge on the pin? So another thing that I'm going to do now, I had a discussion about this the other day. Actually, it was after that incident with the photos and that whole face morph that I did. Are you on your phone watching me? Don't move from where, if you can hear them where you are, turn your phone on silent and record them on your camera, even if you've got the phone sitting on your leg, right? Because a lot of the time, like I said to Leah when she heard us knocking, put your phone on silent before you do anything with your camera, because they hear that, they stop. They hear any noises that they're not used to, they'll stop. Just and try and see if you can pick them up on your camera. Because a lot of the times when you make them aware by I don't know whether it's like a train of thought that they pick up on. Yeah, do not disturb mode. Well, why did you drink sleep tea? Why did you drink sleepy tea, Escapes? Because when it's so strange, I've always said that the minute they think that you're trying to catch them on tape, they will stop. The minute they think you're trying to catch them on yeah, try and keep it like like you're not doing it for any reason other than that you're charging your phone. Like try and keep your thought processes clear, because it's so strange. Can they read your mind? No, but I think they can pick up on your energy. So when you're hearing them, you'll be subconsciously getting. It's Clipper, Sean. I can't drink it anymore. It tastes like shit. And lavender makes me dream really crazy. But yeah, put on everything on silent when you're recording. Didn't let them know what you're doing. Yeah, you get it in Tesco, Sean. The lavender can make you have some seriously vivid dreams though. Mainly me. Mostly me. And I remember them, which sucks. So what was I saying? Yeah, try and record them without moving, without alerting them to the fact that you can hear them. Just put them in the wash machine and put it on. And see what you get. See if you can pick them up. See, this is what freaks me out sometimes. So my Siri's just activated. I don't have voice activation for it on. I don't have voice activation for it on. I hate voice activation. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, catch them without letting them know that you're trying to catch them. Yeah, I've got Siri on, but I don't have. I mean, I've just said Siri. I don't have the voice activation part of it on. You have to actually double click the lock button or hold the home button. I can't remember how you do it. So what was I saying about that picture that I took, and I said I was never going to scry in my life. Next week I am purchasing a black obsidian scrying mirror. I have. It's new. It's not a pre-owned. I do not do pre-owned mirrors. I don't do pre-owned anything that reflects anything. It's new. It's made to order. So we will be doing that shit. Because I'm curious now. I'm curious. Obviously I will be investing in some form of salt circle. But we're going to scry. I think what we'll do first, Skates, before we start doing it with the full power of a full moon, we will attempt it without. We'll maybe attempt it when there is no moon. it terrifies me, but I'm so curious about it all at the same time, because I know it's not a one-off thing. It's happened a few times now. So I mean, why do they wait until you're live before they start doing stuff? Yeah, so it's definitely in the works. So what I was also going to say is, I'm going to keep Tuesdays for video day, right? And with things like the Scry and Mirror and story times, I think I'm gonna start doing Thursday live as well on here, because this is good. I like this setup. But I'll do it maybe from 10 till midnight, so it's not so late. I mean, I'm up most of the night anyway, but and then that keeps Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for TikTok singing. And it doesn't interfere.
You've got a whole 30-second or 10-second delay, by the way.
Yeah, no, dude. Do you want to like stop making so much noise? I'm live. Yeah, it's streaming a lot easier. I'll try and fix a delay, because you're seeing me slightly delayed. I think there's a couple of seconds at least. Alright, wise scoops. And hopefully, hello everyone. Was that Cameron that just came in? Get out of my live, you retard. You know, it's better. It's running a lot smoother than TikTok. I can fucking vape on my stream. It's not as CPU heavy from a computer either, Streamlabs, compared to TikTok Studio. So we'll maybe do an hour on Thursday this week and see, because there's a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff written down the last time when we had a chat about what we wanted to look at. So we'll maybe look at things like the little stuffs like we're doing the famous people deep dives, Escapes, and we'll maybe look into like the different types of ghosts and fey traps and skinwalkers, all that stuff that we wrote down the other day. Oh, and whilst I'm on here, let me just, because I keep forgetting to do this, I was going to do it when I rewrote this. I just want to do you remember how we watched that video and the Sakura tree was mentioned, with that hand that came up between the guy's leg and grabbed his leg? So the Sakura tree is essentially a Japanese cherry blossom. It's a cherry blossom tree, and it has deep association with life and death. So it's got short lifespan, the blossoms which quickly bloom and then fall, mirroring the idea that life, like the petals, is beautiful but temporary. So it's very, very spiritual. I would never have known that if it hadn't been for that video. So the link between the Sakura and death is association with impermanence of life. It's also got a connection to samurai culture. fallen petals of the tree symbolise the samurai's noble and honourable death. It's got military connections, ancestral souls. Right. In some traditions, sakura trees are considered to be the abode of ancestral spirits, and viewing the blossoms can be a way of remembering and connecting with those who've passed. So there's the connection to that being a location where there would be spiritual activity in that. So it all makes sense, that video all makes sense. Okay, so that's one thing written off. Got loads of other stuff. But that'll do us for the night, guys. Oh, there's two of me that are scary as. I'll be back on Thursday. I think we'll do 10 till midnight on Thursday, and then that way we can discuss some of the smaller stuff. I mean, it's good to get it after, because there's not enough time in the day to like look at all these videos. Give it till maybe Thursday, and Sally House and the Ancient Ram Inn sub playlist will be unlocked on the YouTube, so you can go watch some of the longer videos and the full investigations. But the Ancient Ram Inn, did I get my pen back last night? No, I fucking didn't. Where's my fucking pen? The Ancient Ram Inn is definitely a place that I would like to go and at least do a walkthrough in. But that's for hopefully if this channel grows a little bit, then we can start doing. Look how shiny my fucking forehead is. Yeah, so when I come off, Joe, even if you sneaky set up your phone to record as close as you can get to where he's playing about without disturbing him, set your phone to record. Either do the camera and just sit it down, or do the voice note recorder. Look at that fucking bit of my chin. And set it down for 10-15 minutes and let it record, and just chill out and watch TikToks or do what you do when he makes his noise. And then listen to it back. If you catch anything, send it me, and I'll see if I can polish it up so that if he's speaking or whatever, we can hear what he's saying. Or even if you're brave enough, when you set it up to record, speak to him. Ask him if he wants to tell you his name, if he wants to tell you, interact with him and see if he wants to interact with you. He could just be looking for that connection with you as a mum. It sounds really strange, but it makes perfect fucking sense. Shut up, why scapes? I'm not washed it yet. I need to wash it. It's looking good, guys. That wee bump bit's definitely coming down more. I have got the cutest little chin. Duck lips. Yeah. If you're feeling brave enough, ask him some questions. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like go near him. Even from where you usually sit, from where you sit and you can hear him, just ask him some questions. I've not washed my face yet, and it's bedtime, so I have to touch my face. I don't have dry skin no anymore because I'm a good girl. I'll send you some links to some of that stuff that I use. Some of the serum stuff that I use that stopped my dry skin. I'm trying to think what one it was. I use so many serums, like you have no idea. abused my skin when I was younger, and then I have so many age spots. There was one there which is going, actually. Now you can see it, look. See my dark spot right there? I need to get some more of the stuff. Yeah, set the phone up. Honestly, you just, the way I do it, right? Now I talk randomly. If I go places, I'll randomly talk. If I can feel energy, I'll talk to it. The way to try and Shan's in the same boat. The way to try and defuse the fear. Sometimes it can be to pull the rug out, but if you're not picking up any dark, nasty energy off of it, then it's probably, if it's a child, it's probably not going to be carrying any nasty energy with it. But he's probably just as scared of you as you are of him, because, and another way that I look at it with kid ghosts, and this is one of the main reasons why I don't interact with them, as a sense of, they will come to me and I will acknowledge their presence, but that's probably about as far as they get with me. Older spirits come through and it's cool, the interaction's there, but with a child spirit, I don't think they have the mental comprehension to understand what's happened to them, that they're no longer among us living, and that's what I think's a bit harder for me to wrap my brain around, even though I'll go to myself, well, I'll reassure them, but that's probably about as much interaction as they'll get from me. I'm well aware that they're around me, but I just think of it from that point of view, that they probably have no idea what's happening and they're probably terrified. And when they latch on to obviously use a mum, this maternal figure that they're looking for, as long as you are not picking up any dark, suppressive energy off of them, then there's likely none. And they're not there to do any harm or to... But by speaking to them, I mean like not necessarily directing it at them. Just say, if you want, you can tell me your name and stuff. You just say it to the room as opposed to connecting. Because he might come back, it might actually come back and say its name. I've had one do it. It's freaky. It's called Freddy. We nicknamed him Freddy, and instead of using his actual name, he used his nickname. I need to find that recording. It's on my Facebook. But yeah, to help you bust the fear, if you can't pick up any negative energy, if you can't pick up anything dark, then it's probably not there to do you any harm. And interacting with it's not gonna cause it to kick up a stink and be a negative energy as it's supposed to, if you were talking straight to a negative. But yeah, you know, set your recording shit up, tell it that it can speak to your phone if it wants to, and then leave it and see what happens. And then at least that way you're not interacting with it and you've just given it and then again, if you want to draw around a toy on a bit of paper and leave it for him to see if he moves it. He might not do anything for a while though, because sometimes they're very wary of what you put out. That's I think a lot of the time why they don't touch the EMFs, and they don't play with the spooky shit. It's basically a fluke catch when you catch them. But anyway, if you need me, drop me a message in the WhatsApp if you want to yap to me whilst you're doing shit and you're recording. Then I'll be in the WhatsApp. I'll be up for a bit. But Thursday we'll do 10 till 12, and next week we'll do Old Changi in Singapore, and we'll do the prison and the hospital, and I will let you guys know when the playlists are open tomorrow we'll be back on TikTok. Usual account, back on the old account for some singing. Now I have blown my voice. Bonnie Tyler did it. Also getting a lot of hay fever symptoms just now. Because of having to take antihistamines. But I'm very stuffy, so I'm gonna have to get my nasal spray back for the doctor, I think. But it's the pollen count's been absolutely insane up here, and it didn't help that these morons cut my grass again. Why would you do that? So I will be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock on TikTok for Wacky Wednesday. If you find any cool shit you want me to look at, if you find any haunted dolls, you know where to send the fucking links. You've all got me in DMs. It's been a good live. This will be available to rewatch as well, so I'm going to check that fucking hat out, because that's freaking me out. Why is it so fat? Shut Widescapes. Right, go to bed. Joe, get me on WhatsApp. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in for First Terrifying Tuesdays on YouTube.